And happy Saturday, everybody, and welcome to Woodbine, where winter is officially back as we celebrate our first Super Saturday here in Toronto. I gotta tell you something, Jeff. This morning, I didn't see this one coming. Like, you really do need to wear your winter clothes here today.
It is crazy. You know, usually at this time of the year, I'm jealous of everybody up at the cottage. Not this weekend. You can have the cottage. It would be cold up there, but you're right. And the wind will have a factor, I would think, on some of the races here today, too. And as you've touched on for about the last 2 or 3 weeks, what about next week when it's supposed to get so warm? These poor horses getting used to everything.
Well, that's what they're promising us, but today was supposed to be 17 degrees, and I don't think it's going to get anywhere close to 17. In fact, I don't see it getting above 10. This wind is going to remain with us for most of the program today. Wow, 11 races in store for you this afternoon, 4 graded stakes events, and of course a significant scratch. One that I think we're all a little disappointed of in race number 1.
Yeah, it sucks. Good thing it's nothing serious. A fever, you can treat it, but obviously you got to use medication for that, so you can't race under those types of circumstances. And so he'll be back to fight another day, that being Patches O'Houlihan. I would love to walk through the back stretch right now and just ask how many trainers are saying,
okay,
why didn't we enter? Why didn't we enter?
Yeah. And the other thing for me is the 3 that are in are like, heard the scratches. What's that again?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and now all of a sudden everything changes for those 3 connections that are going to compete for a good purse. I mean, it's $150,000 that's up for grabs, and there's just 3 horses that are going to go for it.
And the way that purse is distributed, so the second and third place finishers, they get what they would normally get. The winner gets now first, 4th, and 5th place money.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's a big payday.
I know. So we're going to kick things off today with the Grade 3 Jacques Cartier, but again, a reminder of that big scratch, and that'll change some of the wagering complexion for that race as well. Yesterday, not a bad day. We had our first grass races of the season. We raced on the EP and we raced on the inner turf course yesterday. We saw Philip My Deer make the return, a winning one for Angus Fontaine and Sahin Savachi. And then our other grass race on the inner went to causing mayhem for Rafael Hernandez and Martin Drexler. But we're giving you the stats as far as how the track played when we're talking about the main track.
Right.
Because really, we only have a handful of races on the grass each week. So right now, we're just going to show you how things played yesterday.
No sense in recapping one race on either surface, but here's a look at how the all-weather surface did play yesterday. Favorites on the program overall, just 1 for 8. That lone favorite was, I guess that would have been Philip My Wine. I think Moving to the Country was the second choice, 9-5 in that race, because I think it was the Donnie McRae horse that was sent off as the favorite in that race. And there's a look at the average win payout, $14.19. You know, we had a couple of winners that were surprising. Highland Society at 16-1, and at 14-1, Good Sin for Conditioner Bev Chubb.
And the track was pretty fair, I think, once again. So that's 2 days in a row that we've had a nice, fair track. We'll see what happens for you here this afternoon. This is a great betting program, and we're certainly looking forward to it. But we'll give you a little sneak peek on how the track played this morning for training hours. And this is a little interesting, too, because Ernie Perry, our head clocker, is obviously upstairs clocking all the horses all morning long. And we're getting a pretty good handle, Jeff, on how he rates the track now, because we've had this over so many weekends. But he's rating it as a 3.5 for today.
So that's on the slower side of things, because usually he'll go like 4, 4.5. So he's going to go 3.5 out of 5. In terms of inside or outside, he thought there was no real difference there. Yet another kind of a tired horse makes it onto the horse to watch aboard, that being Brengan Girl, who worked with some other horses, as a matter of fact, and worked in 48-3. That one owned by the Canuck Racing Club. And he says if you want to wait to the last race of the day, that might be a good move, because that might be the best race of the day.
Yeah, it's a maiden special weight, the last dash on the program, 1 mile and a 16th, and the carryover for that jackpot high five is continuing to grow. Over $37,000 in the carryover pool. So yeah, lots of good things to look forward to, including the 4 stakes. And we just wanted to take you back to and show you just how things are shaping up in our room, our jocks room, and then of course with our trainers. But we're going to go back to May the 16th, right? So we're not going from the beginning of the season, but we're going from, May the 15th to give you a look at how the room is shaping up.
Okay, so let's do it. We've got 90 seconds to look at the jockeys and the trainers to try and figure out who's had the hot hand as of late. Who will it be? Oh, the mystery.
Well, we'll start with jocks first. I would assume Yep, and guess who's up on top? The babyface bandit, Pietro Moran in the top spot with 11 wins from 55 mounts. Sophia Vivez has had a fantastic year, and I'm sure she's just as disappointed as the rest of us with Patches being scratched from the opener on the program. But her in the money percent is so high, Jeff, 60%. Wow.
I mean, it's not very often you're named on a 1-to-9 shot in a stake race, so that does suck. But she has had a terrific campaign. She's riding during our dark days down at Finger Lakes.
Yeah,
so she's been very, very busy. Saint Savachi had some success yesterday on the program, and Mr. Ryan Bunker, he's had the hot hand all of a sudden.
Yeah, because lately he's had days where he's winning 2 on the program. Like, for example, yesterday he won with Goodson for Bev Chubb, and he also won with Pauqua for Carlos Grant in the opener on the program. Things have certainly changed as far as our trainer stats are concerned, because there's a major name that we've been seeing for a while who is not on this board right now, and that's Kevin Attard.
That's true.
Martin Drexler is taking the top spot.
And Steve Flint's mom will be happy, because he's made it onto the board in here with 3 wins and an ROI of $4.68. We've got Cassie and Tiller right there in the mix of things, and we'll see if they can keep those hot hands going.
So, of course, plenty to talk about today, and we're going to start our handicapping in race number 2 on the program. Now, the second race goes 7/8 of a mile, and it's an optional $15,000 claim.
Race 5.
Sorry, race 5.
Topic
I don't know why
2.
That's why. You know, these scripts, they get to me every once in a while. Read the script, Elisa. All right, race number 5 is the first one we're going to talk about. A mile and a 16, an optional $40,000 claiming event for a purse of over $60,000. Bowman's Run, a horse that a lot of people will be looking at for Kevin Attard, but I think you can. There's going to be a variety of different horses to look at. I don't mind the 6 horse for Katerina Vasileva, but you got one you want to give a shout out to as well.
Yeah, I want to take a look at Pierre in here, because Pierre certainly gets into some trouble, but I think it's totally out of horse when this happens. So right now we're kind of tracking everything in the second place position, and now we're in a bit of a tight spot coming up here in a couple of seconds. But I really think he is at a gas at this portion of the race. I'm just watching, going to see it coming here in just a couple of seconds. And we're going to have to take up as Wyoming Bill, I think it is, comes out and bumps with us. And now the horse is totally out of horse. And now I think Pietro's done exactly the right thing. He knows the horse isn't going to have much to offer now, so let's just wrap up and we'll come back and fight another day. But from a handicapping point of view is, when I look at that replay and I'm trying to interpret the drop, it leaves a bit of a sour taste in my mouth, because I think the horse has got some ability, but I just don't love the last race, because now all of a sudden we're running for a tag for the very first time in our career. So because of that, I'm going to go towards another Kevin horse in Bowman's Run. Now, there are a lot of horses on today's card that want more ground to work with, including Get Smoking in our stake race coming up a little bit later on. I think Bowman's Run wants more ground, but I'll put this one on top. I certainly respect your horse, and the way that these Turfway horses have been doing as of late, you gotta include them all pretty much.
That's the thing, you really can't leave Turfway horses off of the tickets, and that's why I went to the 6 horse in the top spot. Actually, I'll tell you what, now Katerina Vasileva could have a really
massive day.
Big day today, because she will likely send out the favorite in race number 1 on the program, and that's Simcoe, another horse who was winter raced down at Turfway Park in Florence, Kentucky. So race number 5 on the program, again, an optional $40,000 claimer with a dropper here from the Attard barn, but I think he's dropping a few horses in over the next couple of days, so maybe looking to clean house.
And it was Tiller the other day that was dropping a bunch of horses down in class. The other barn that's dropped a lot of horses down in class as of late, and then been claimed as Sandy McPherson.
That's true.
And usually we see it a little bit later in the year, but they've been very, very aggressive, these barns, early on.
Well, you got to get those wins, and like you said, sometimes you do have to clean house and get some fresh stock in. Next topic we're going to go to is race number 6 on the program. It's an optional 32. Now, we're on the inner turf course. It is listed as firm. We are in lane 1, I believe, today, because 3, correct. And you get a big field here in this event, and some very interesting horses here, but one who had a tough beat last time is JP Hellish.
I don't know what it is about these inside turf course races coming up over the next couple of days, but they are wickedly tough races. Some of these allowance races are so salty. Here's a look at JP Hellish. We know this horse very, very well, tracking in the second place position. This was an allowance race at Gulfstream Park. This is the second level allowance category, so you're going to get some good horses in this field. And now he's kind of looming into contention. What's nice about him is he doesn't need to lead. There's a lot of pace in this race. He can show speed, but he can sit just off it as well. So right now he's kind of looming into contention, and you're thinking he's going to get a major payday because more often than not, he finishes off his races. The problem is here, it's just a real close clump of horses late. Now, normally when I see this happen, I think the late pace collapses, but I'm not sure that's the case here. I just think the quality was strong because the second place finisher came back to win a $75,000 stake race, and the sixth place finisher came back to win against this caliber of competition next time out too. Loves this course. I will say this, I think this is very aggressive race placement though, because I think for 32 this horse might get claimed today.
Yeah, he might go back to Bill Theranis, who's had him in the past, and he likes to take off this outfit. I think the significant scratch is the 11, Bring Me a Check.
For sure.
The Mike Maker horse, who probably would have had something to say here with the results of this race, but you know, I went to Catherine Bay's
Why
horse,
not?
And you know, she took the horse down to Keeneland for the first start of the season, and you don't take a horse all the way from Woodbine to Keeneland if you don't think you have a legitimate shot. Now, things didn't really work out that day for the horse, but this will be the third start in the form cycle, and the return race was very good. I'll tell you who is another one you might want to keep your eye on in this spot, and that's one that all the ladies are going to be rooting for today, just in time for wine, because if this horse turns for home up on top, he's a really cool dude. He needs a lead. I happened to watch some of the replays from him. Daisuke Fukumoto was aboard for a win with him down in the States, but he's kind of a neat old guy, and he might be a little fun here and could give you a good price to play in your supers.
You got a 14-time winner in that one, and JP Hellish is a 13-time winner.
Exactly. Yeah, there's certainly some classy horses in race number 6 on the card. We're going to go to the 8th race now, because now we get into all our big stakes events with these great fields, super horses, not only horses from here, local horses, but some nice shippers coming in as well. And race number 8 again goes on the E.P. Taylor turf course, so we're excited to be on that at a distance of 6.5 furlongs. Earhart looking to represent Woodbine proudly and get the win here today, but there's some really nice horses coming here to try and take it away from her. Gallon of Rush is here from Miguel Clement. I think that would be a great story if this horse happened to win. Of course, Miguel, the son of now the late Christophe Clement, so that's a cool story if that horse happens to win. But you could go so many different directions. And
the problem is really in this race from a handicapping point of view is Earhart, because you're going to take a low price on a horse that's going to try something brand new, and that's racing on turf. Now, pedigree says shouldn't be a problem. In fact, should be even better on turf. But how low of a price are you willing to take on Earhart, who is, obviously a very talented individual, who's done little wrong to this portion of her career. That's where you're going to go towards. That's going to be your top pick of the number 10. That being Gallon of Rush is going to be your top pick as you look for a bit of a price play in here. I like 2P in here. 2P is a speed horse, doesn't necessarily need the lead. The distance should be a problem, and all of a sudden, for the first time in her career, she gets onto Lasix. And that's the big difference. If you're watching down the States, here in Canada, in great stake races, unless it's a Breeders' Cup Challenge when you're in an event, you can race on Lasix. And that might help her out a little bit as well. But this is a strong field in this spot for sure. And there is some significant pace to run at potentially as well.
With the wind here today, I hope your 2P doesn't blow off.
Oh, I know. You always make fun of me when it's windy and I come back after doing my Winner's Circle interviews. I look like, remember those pencils that used to have?
Yeah, you shake them up.
Yeah, and then the hair was...
That's you.
Yeah, that's me.
So the 8th race again, the Grade 3 Royal North, that's how we'll kick off a late pick 4 that's just jam-packed with stakes events. 9th race on the card is the Grade 2 Eclipse, going a mile and a 16th. And again, we have these local horses that we're going to be cheering for, horses like Stanley House from the Mike DiPaolo outfit. But Data Man is kind of cool. He's coming in from a really big win down at Laurel, an American-based horse for Graham Motion, and he could be any type.
And the thing that I really like about him is his stride. And we're going to take a look at that for you right now. We look at his most recent race down at Laurel. And the runner-up that he beats on this day came back to win the cliffhanger at Monmouth, as a matter of fact. So just watch the gray horse in here. And very patient ride from Ruiz. He's just looking for room. He's absolutely loaded. He knows he's got all kinds. He's just trying to get a bit of a seam. And he's going to get it here coming up. And now he's able to kind of think about splitting there, but he can't, so he goes to plan B in here. And just watch the gray as this horse that, just watch the stride. Look at the amount of ground he covers.
The way he throws out his front legs is pretty awesome.
He just skips over it almost, And, he's a really nice horse, and he's going to be very dangerous in this spot. The thing that I did when I handicapped this race is I just don't think there's much pace in here. Now that's why I landed on Get Smoking, but it's probably not his best distance. And he did need a couple races to get going last season as well. And he's going to probably be a bit of a low price on the board in here. Then you've got Drexler with a slew of horses, and then you've got Web Slinger, who is a grade 1 caliber type of horse, who's trying this surface for the first time.
I know. This is a very, very perplexing race. Yes. And you're going to see lots of different selections up on the board. You know, saw Bill Talon, the former boss of the Daily Racing Form, and he said, you know, this is finally the card that we've been waiting for, right? Because this is the thing, we just talked about this, you and I off camera, because these are such great races, these stakes events, and they're so almost wide open, you're going to get a variety of different directions from all the handicappers here today. What a good day for our HPI fans who have joined us this afternoon, because this is a tough test for a lot of handicappers. It
is. And you know what, we've had some sentimental plays, you and I, in this race. Like, we'd love to see Stanley House run well. You know, he's had some bad luck in some races. You know, Cool Kiss has been close in stake races in the past. You've got Dancing in Denial, who is a former Samson runner. You know, you've got some really kind of unique stories coming up in this event.
Yep, but the Americans don't come here to lose. That's for sure. So we'll be watching for that in race number 9. The 10th race is the Grade 3 Belle Mahone, and that's how we'll wrap up our stakes events with this event going a mile and a 16th. And I am so excited to see the duel, I think, between two Atard runners, Caitlin Her Greatness, who was the winner of last year's King's Plate, and Fashionably Fab, who gave us some really great moments last season.
Two champions from last year. You have your champion 3-year-old filly, you have your champion older horse of the filly and mare variety on the main track, that being Fashionably Fab. Does Post have an impact in here? I think ideally you wouldn't like to be on the outside with Fashionably Fab, because I think Caitlin Her Greatness might be able to, you know, save a little bit of ground that first turn. Just what blows me away, and I don't see the works, I just look at raw time, but I mean, these works that Caitlin Her Greatness is putting up, it's like she's gone to the shooting range and it's bullet after bullet, you know, it's unbelievable. And the thing, and here's how I think, and this isn't a slight against Fashionably Fab, but I think Fashionably Fab is, we know what her peak is, and it's very good. We don't know how good Caitlin Her Greatness is potentially going to be this season.
Yeah, a little older, a little wiser.
Right. Could she be better this season?
Could she be better?
That's a possibility as well. So I think they're kind of the two big guns in here. Now, what do we do with Maker Horse?
Dana's Beauty.
They scratched out the Gallarette to go in here.
Yeah, I put her in for third. I do like Caitlin up in the top spot, but she'll be a player in this race.
Yeah, and the Resolute Racing, they tend to spot the horses really well. You've got Roger in here with Ready for Sherrill. You've got the Oaks winner from last season in King's Concerto. You've got a Brazilian bred for Grand Motion too. And you can never discount Barb Minchell, 45.70 every once in a while. Shows up these big races, almost beat Fashionably Fab to wrap up last season too.
That's true.
Who do you think goes off as a favorite? I think it's Caitlin.
Oh, guaranteed, because it's anybody who's here, that's playing here, knows exactly what she's done and what she did last year on Plate Day. That was the last time I think we were able to get her at a little bit of a price, right? Because you know, the girls facing the boys in the Plate will often be at a little bit of a price, but that was a beautiful win. Like you said, the workouts indicate all systems are go with her here today. It feels like an Atard exactor, but this Dana's Beauty could spoil the party.
She might have lost by 6 lengths to She Feels Pretty in the QE2, and She Feels Pretty is the best female turf horse in North America right now. So absolutely no shame. And I think in the Maple Leaf, she might have just been tired at the end of the year.
It's possible.
Yeah, and facing older horse for the first time.
And remember, she came back fast too to the Plate, right? Because there was a quick turnaround for her. Yeah.
14 days.
And then, of course, the beauty of it was that the race got delayed by a week. Really,
that's right.
Really
that's right.
Helped her out. Yeah. See, every once in a while, Jeff.
That's right. It was 14 days to the Oaks, and then she had an extra 5 days, I think, to the Plate.
Yes, she did, and that probably did help her out. Race number 11 will be our last topic as we take a look at a maiden special weight going a mile and a 16th. Now, there's tons of choices. And this is not going to make for an easy jackpot high five. The carryover more than $37,000. Now, I kind of feel like this barn could be in for a really good day today. My fingers are crossed here for Katerina Vasileva. She sends out a 15-1 shot with a hot rider right now in Ryan Munger, who's in off of a third-place effort behind who? Our Lady. I think that's a really strong reference now, Jeff, because Our Lady came back to win her A other than no problem.
Right, and she's going to go around 2 turns here for the first time. They're trying to figure out how that's going to go. The mare is actually related to Weyburn, who was like a good miler type of horse. But 6 route-winning siblings that mare's got on her side of the pedigree. So I think she'll be fine with the stretch and distance. You've got Kevin Well represented in this race too. I'm going to take a shot with one of his in this spot. He's got the 7 Sultana. That's the first time starter, a 4-year-old just now making it to the races. So that intrigues me a little bit. He's not afraid to start horse and route races. And I'm trying to follow the bouncing ball with Pietro on these retired horses because he's so close with the barn. So I'm kind of curious to see what we've got this first time starter.
But that's the thing, you know that basically he's going to get first call on a lot of horses, with the exception of, say, Caitlin. Her greatness belongs to Rafael Hernandez. But you can go look at this. I mean, it looks like a patchwork quilt, all these different numbers that we have up here. Like, I tossed the 12 horse in for fun as well, and that's Rachel Halden's horse that Patrick Husbands is going to ride. This horse was winter trained down with Bill Mott. Yeah, that's right. Kind of showed a little bit of ability, and now has got a chance to get here. Acclimatize the thing, will travel over a new surface today. I just, in the back of my mind, I hate playing 11 and 12 post positions going a mile 16. I know, but I got a good pilot aboard, so I might be able to find myself in a really good spot. Alrighty, so that gets us through the program for you today with the 11 races in total. But we have plays of the day to pass along too. And it's funny because we send in our selections 3 days in advance, and I was like, oh, do I want to look at who Jeff has as my plays of the day, or do I want to wait and be surprised on Saturday? So you're going to surprise me. Okay, so here's my speed threat, Veery. I don't know if she's classy enough, but I think she's lone speed. My best bet is JP Hellish. I love that horse coming up in race number 6. I can never say this horse's name right. Megalodon. You're there. Go with that one in race number 7. Gets some significant class relief. It gets smoking. One of my favorite handicapping angles to play if I can find it is lone speed. And because at least I get a thrill for a good portion of the race. That's true. What have I got? Well, this is one of my favorites from last year, Fighter in the Wind. And I was really excited to see he's a clocker horse too. I just like this horse. He's another one of those horses that's got a bit of attitude. Those are the ones that I really kind of get attracted to. Megalodon is my best bet for the day today too, so we agree there. Here to win, Data Man. You saw that replay that Jeff put up. Beautiful, beautiful movement from this horse. And my price play is Workout Affair in the last race on the program. Fingers crossed for a big day from the Vasileva barn. Doug McPherson has Heat Merchant in race number 2, a horse who had a couple of wins at the Fort. Our Woodbine TV producer is giving you a 4th race pick, and that's Simpatico at 10-1. Now hold on a second, I got to go back and take a look at my first time. Oh, the first time starter. Now the mare on that one, I think, if memory serves me correct, is all the Assiniboia Downs. 3rd full, 2 winners. Mare was a good horse in Manitoba. And then of course Data Man is a top selection for Ron Gierkink. You think we'll get 5-1 on that horse? I don't know. He is a real looker. He is. Yeah, and if you went back and you watched the replays, But I don't think he'll be a favorite, though. I think Get Smoking will be the favorite. So I think you're going to be, worst case scenario, 3-1. Look, if I get a few winners on today's program, I'd be really, really happy. On a day like this with the cool weather, you never really know what's going to happen. The wind is going to be a factor today as well. And for our American friends, they're coming up here and saying, this is what a Canadian summer's like, huh? Exactly. Fighter in the Wind is a clocker horse for the day today from the Richie Morden outfit. Talked about this one being the quickest work at the distance on that day, which was May the 23rd, has been working very well, that's true. And then Legal Catch from the Harold Laddister outfit, the work back on May the 17th in 1:02. He's saying it was a flashy work, faces some horses that could be in a pretty tough spot, and he's thinking the price could be right. So there's a couple of clocker horses for you on the day today. Finally, we have our first really great card of the season. The only thing that's missing today is a 2-year-old race. And that's patches. The only thing. And patches, yeah. That does stink. But, you know what? I'm okay with there not being a 2-year-old race today. Just because the wind? That, and you know, sometimes you just don't know what those babies are going to do with all those first-time starters, and I think our gate crew has a busy enough day ahead of them. They don't need babies to be added into the mix.
We have the best gate crew anywhere,
We
so
sure do.
we're very lucky to have them.
Alrighty, we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, guess who's going to join us? Our favorite track announcer, Mr. Robert Geller.
Love horse racing? HPIBet.com is Canada's leader in online horse betting. Access thousands of live races from hundreds of tracks worldwide instantly. Enjoy the most advanced betting tools like AI Smart Picks and exclusive cashback rewards you won't get anywhere else. Join today and get up to $100 in free bets. Get the ultimate horse betting experience with HPIBet.com.
This is the biggest race in the world. Pinch me, I think I'm dreaming.
They're all business Dubai World Cup.
And they're into the stretch. Two of the great racehorses in the world. Giant Killer, by name and by nature. A race for the ages.
Welcome back inside the studio as we are joined by our very favorite track announcer, the one, the only, Mr. Robert Geller. Welcome.
Nice to see you again,
Yeah, your
Lisa.
hair looks good, but you're going to have to probably get it gelled down today with this
Yes,
wind.
yeah.
Mhm.
I need a toupee or toupee.
I was just saying, your toupee might blow away today.
I am amazed how strong this wind has come in. I mean,
Yes.
I put my pot plant out on the balcony and it was just lovely and still. I'd hate to think what's happened to it between now
What
and
was
then.
the word that he used today to describe the wind?
Yeah,
Vicious?
Fierce. I'm going to use the word brutal. It's now brutal.
Yes, it is brutal. And also, as Jeff pointed out, this is the portion of the show where he stands.
I just stand and
looks
say,
pretty.
hey, how are you? But I am interested in his thoughts on Earhart
Oh,
because
yeah.
I want to know what
Amelia?
you're thinking about the
The
turf
horse,
with this horse.
Yes.
Well, I love the fact that Earhart's by a French sire, and to me, you know, the bloodlines in the European bloodlines are turf. I think Earhart's style will be fine. I mean, the way the races run is a big factor, but I think we'll be okay on the turf. Having said that, obviously, there's a question mark that may give an opening to other horses.
Like, who do you like in that race?
So in Earhart's race, I think the danger is 2P.
Me too.
A very strange pattern, a win, a fourth, back to a bit of a freshener. I give a chance to Gallon Rush.
Me too.
Yeah.
Definitely was compromised by having to chase on that run on the Tapeta. I do think if there was some pace pressure with Ticker Tape Home involved, that could change it. And Ticker Tape Home does very well early and especially on turf. But I did like 2P as the threat to Earhart.
Yes, I would agree. And getting onto the Lasix program today as
That's
well.
it.
All
Yeah.
right, let's go to the ninth race. Get your thoughts on the Grade 2 Eclipse. Now, Jeff showed us the replay of Data Man. This is a pretty neat horse.
Well, in that same race, I thought that both Data Man and Classic Motown were very impressive. And I do think that Get Smokin' is dangerous. I go back to that last run in the Valedictory, which was a longer race and it was a wet track. But I felt that got away with a track that was really speed favoring, and I did feel Classic Motown in that particular race was extremely unlucky in some ways. I can see Classic Motown, a barn that's hot, Esmond Flores riding hot. I think those horses that you mentioned, Data Man, very live. Classic Motown will be my top pick. I'm putting them in. I give a chance to, a bit of a long shot would be one of those from the barn of well, Stanley House or Cool Kiss
Nice
to
see
surprise.
Stanley run a big race.
Because I do think Get Smokin's vulnerable. I know that if he's on the lead and gets away with that lead, of course
But
that's
he's not really a
different
mile 16th horse either. I picked him, but I'm worried about the distance.
thing. And then there's Websling.
yeah,
But that's all
nice.
turf racing, right?
Yeah.
Alrighty, so that's the 9th. How about your thoughts on the Balmahone Grade 3 there? Is it Caitlin's race to win?
Well, I know you've always been a strong fan, and you were onto her for the King's Plate, and I have to say her works are sizzling. Sizzling, sizzling, sizzling. Of course, the race isn't about works, and I think she is very dangerous. She's got the speed, she can stalk. I think she will win. However, I give a very good chance in the race to her stablemate, Fashionably Fab. The X factor is Dana's Beauty. Dana's Beauty was out of the money here in the Nassau Stakes on the turf, but has Lasic's first time. Mike Maker's bringing this horse in, and I think will be a bit of a threat to Caitlin Hagretis for the pace pressure. Not sure who's the better, but I'm going to say, remember, King's Concerto did run down Caitlin Hagretis in the Oaks, so there's always an outside. If you want to get some fat on the ticket, maybe you go wide, but I do like Caitlin. I do think she's going to get her
like that.
reputation
As
solved.
some
Fat on the ticket. I thought he was talking about me.
That's great. That's a great way to put it. It's all about the words today. Fierce, fat, all those good things. And of course, the 11th race, a tough betting
I
race.
love this. I love this race. Of course, you've got to take a shot, and we've all got probably different views on this. But I really liked Rachel Holden's Sweet Surrender. I like what I see in the bloodline, not this time. I also like maybe the purchase price and show pace 2 starts back. And I also give a chance to, I have to say, Sultana. You know, in Australia, we don't talk about Raisin Brand, we talk about Sultana Brand. Sultanas. We always talk about Sultanas. Anyway, I have to say first time starter. And the other one I like, Quality Presence. Usually the question mark is how do you go from Tapeta to turf, but this question mark is how do you go from turf to Tapeta? If Quality Presence can do that, we'll have a presence. They're my 3. I'm going to throw those into the pick 4 ticket because I think it could be lean if we get all those favourites home, which I hope we do.
I know, you know, today's an exciting day, right?
It really is.
We've had kind of a slow start to the season, and today it feels like we're finally racing at Woodbine, right?
A Super Saturday, as we call it,
A Super Saturday?
We can afford your ticket, Robert. $4.80. That's our budget.
Yeah, all right.
Or $24 if we go all out. It depends how much fat you want on that ticket.
That's right. I like that.
Okay, guys, a Super Saturday coming your way. Robert's going to bring you all the races. Jeff and I will try and help you out as best we can with the handicapping selections on the afternoon. We look forward to it, and we hope you do too.